husband locked away in chains. 15 years of struggle and pain. Kids taken away by a faceless form. She rises up in the darkest storm. Her voice touches hearts in a broken state. Podcast waves spark their fight and fate. Brenda's strength like a blazing fire. Inspire the lost to lift their desire. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down. In her voice, their freedom found. Government shadows, secrets untold. Brenda's story, fierce and bold. She helps others break their chains. Together they rise from the ashes of pain. Her husband waits behind iron bars, but Brenda knows they'll reach the stars. Oh, her love unyielding, a beacon bright in the silence of the night. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down. In her voice, their freedom found. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down. In her voice, their freedom found. Freedom found. Brenda used to walk these streets with pride. Her husband Chris, a patriot by her side. But the weight of the world came crashing down when the government tried to take the ground. They stole Chris away, said he was a threat, left Brenda alone with words of regret. CPS came knocking, took her children too. But Brenda stood tall like the sky so blue. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through. Every day she fights for what's been lost, pays the price, bears the cost. Whispers of hope through a podcast wave, telling her story, she'll be brave. In the heartland, they know her name, her struggle, her passion, her undying flame. She dreams of a day she'll hold them tight, Chris and the kids in the morning light. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through.
Hey, hello. I can't believe it. I finally made it, guys. Okay, so as the music was playing and everything like that. Okay, here, you want me to put my glasses on for this? No. All right, so yeah, as the music is playing, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over there and get a drink, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna set up my. Look at, I got my one of the TVs up here, and you see what's going to happen is that I was gonna play some stuff up on here YouTube, but gosh forbid I finish with that laptop, because this is the second TV I'm using, because the other one messed up the other day when I was trying to do some lives. So but any case, I go grab my soda. Okay, the whole damn thing knocked off. I had to go grab a towel because I literally had to soak up the whole damn can that's on the floor. So that's what I got going on. All right, so I don't know what any of you guys got going on with your cases. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this over a little bit so I can see the screen here, so I can see y'all's comments. Cause I see Chris was in here, Florida Mom. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason I wanted to do it on here, but you'll see. But what do you guys think about what's going on? California now. What's happening with Texas? They got it going on in Atlanta. I mean, in Atlanta, I seen some guy jumping up on top of the cop car, which I don't understand is why. Remember Trenton Cassidy raining Butler on June 22nd. He will be 17. On the 22nd. Didn't you have don't you have one also? Your son's going to be 18 on the 4th of July. Am I right, Florida Mom? I can't believe you have also a son turning 17. I mean, you have 5 kids altogether, Florida Mom? Give us our baby that. That's me. Uh-huh. Yeah, here I am. I'm in my other account. Oh, that was the other part of the story. I'm trying to get ready for the show. And since I can't give you guys the links because I'm using the phone here, I'm trying to send off a few messages. Hey, my show's starting. And as I'm trying to do that, I move this laptop around and then lose my connection because that HDMI cable is not the best on that darn TV. So, oh, oh, and there's my husband. Um, let's take this off.
Imagine a place where the natural beauty hides a dark secret. Maine's child welfare system is failing. Maine ranks 4th in the nation for the highest percentage of maltreated children. It also holds the 5th highest share of children in foster care. The state's Office of Child and Family Services is under intense scrutiny for failing to protect its most vulnerable. A shocking federal audit revealed violations in 94 out of 100 reviewed cases. Child fatalities under DHHS oversight have quadrupled from 7 in 2007 to 28 in 2022. This includes causes like unsafe sleep and even murder. Despite a $250,000 audit, systemic failures persist, including poor training and unmanageable caseloads. The government's response has been criticized as too little, too late. Our children deserve better. Join us as we uncover the truth behind Maine's crumbling child protective services. Subscribe to Maine Matters and make a difference.
Imagine a quiet evening at home with your family. Safe, happy. Then a knock at the door. Strangers from Child Protective Services stand outside. Your heart pounds. This can't be happening. But it is. In a moment, everything changes. They make vague accusations. You try to explain, but it's like talking to a wall. They have the power. You feel helpless. Your rights seem to vanish. They claim to protect your children, but from you? The system meant to shield the vulnerable can become a terrifying force. In an instant, your children are taken. Confused, scared, they cling to you. The strangers are firm. Your children are ripped from your arms. Tears stream down their faces, and yours. The trauma is deep, a wound that may never heal. This isn't rare. It's a growing crisis. Good, loving families are being shattered. Children are taken, often with little due process. Why is this happening? What's really going on behind closed doors? Across America, families live in fear of a knock that could change everything. The system's power is immense, and its mistakes devastating. We need to understand the forces at work. We need to ask hard questions, because every family deserves safety, not fear. The stakes are too high to ignore. This is not just a nightmare for a few. It's a crisis for us all. The question is, will we look away or demand answers? The future of countless families depends on what we do next. The time to pay attention is now. Every minute, a child is seized by CPS in America. 60 children every hour, over 1,400 every day. The scale is staggering, an epidemic. Are there truly that many homes where children are in danger? Or is something else driving these numbers? We see headlines about horrific abuse. Those children need help. But what about the others? This constant removal creates fear. Parents worry? Will a teacher misunderstand a bruise? Will a neighbor make a false report? Trust between families and child protection agencies erodes. When the system is seen as a threat, not a support, who benefits? Not the children caught in the middle. Such numbers point to something systemic. This isn't just about caseworkers making tough calls. There's a machine at work, one that needs to be fed. We must ask, what is fueling this crisis? Could money be a factor? The Adoption and Safe Families Act of 1997 and Title IV-E of the Social Security Act provide federal funding to states for foster care and adoption. States receive money for each child in foster care and bonuses for adoptions. The more children removed, the more federal dollars flow in. It's a powerful incentive, a financial reward for taking a child, a bonus for finalizing an adoption. This can turn children into commodities, sources of revenue. The focus shifts from family preservation to child removal, because removal pays. When you follow the money, the picture becomes clearer. The system is designed to prioritize financial gain over family well-being. When agencies are incentivized to remove children, can we trust every removal is necessary? Are children being protected or monetized? This is the hidden crisis we must expose. The stakes are too high to ignore. We assume CPS intervenes only in severe abuse cases. But what if the net is cast wider? Disturbing claims suggest agencies target healthy, well-adjusted children. Why? Because they're more adoptable, easier to place, quicker to generate bonuses. A child's good health can make them a target. The very qualities parents nurture can put children at risk. These children are low-hanging fruit for an overburdened system. It's a brutal calculus. Innocence has a price. Parents doing a good job, raising bright, healthy kids, can be targeted. Not because the children are in danger, but because they're desirable to a system driven by incentives. The truly difficult cases require more resources that are scarce. The system's logic is chilling. We must question who the system is really serving, and who is being left behind. This isn't just someone else's problem. It could happen to your family, your friends, your neighbors. A misunderstanding, a false report, and your world changes. We cannot look away. If we stay silent, the system will keep operating in the shadows. Families will be torn apart, children traumatized. Financial incentives will keep driving the wedge. We must demand transparency and accountability in child protective services. Reform laws like Title IV-E and ASFA that create perverse incentives. Support family preservation. Ensure child welfare agencies focus on children's well-being, not profit. Speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Protecting children is noble, but not if the system causes harm. Families must be supported, not destroyed. The time to act is now, before another child is needlessly taken, because if it can happen to them, it can happen to you. What will you do?
All right. Well, I don't know where Brenda went to right this moment. I know that she was getting that phone call from Chris, so I guess we'll wait and see what we got going on here with her and her situation with him. I know that she's going under a lot of stuff with him. So I know that these phone calls from him are very important. I don't know. You guys want to see my my newest constitutional video? I could throw that up there, and we could kill some time with that. Let's see here if I got it on this one. Family, know your rights. 4 minutes. All right, yeah, we'll throw this one up here, guys. Just bear with it, and Brenda will be right back. I'm sure of it. So just check this video out.
The family unit is under attack. Across the nation, parents are finding themselves facing a formidable adversary, Child Protective Services, CPS. Tasked with the crucial responsibility of protecting children from abuse and neglect, CPS has unfortunately, in many instances, overstepped its bounds, transforming from protector to persecutor. This essay serves as a vital resource for parents, equipping them with the knowledge and tools necessary to navigate the often treacherous waters of CPS involvement. It is imperative for parents to understand their fundamental rights when confronted with CPS investigations. The Constitution, our nation's supreme law, guarantees certain protections that CPS cannot infringe upon. By understanding these rights and recognizing the tactics employed by CPS, parents can effectively advocate for themselves and their families. Knowledge is power. This essay will delve into the legal framework surrounding CPS interventions, empowering parents to identify and challenge unlawful actions. We will explore the constitutional amendments that safeguard parental rights, analyze pivotal legal cases, and provide practical advice to help parents protect their families. Remember, you are your child's first and most important advocate. Arm yourself with knowledge, stand firm in your rights, and never back down from protecting your family. CPS operates under a broad mandate to investigate allegations of child abuse and neglect. While this authority is essential for safeguarding children, it also leaves the system vulnerable to misuse. It is crucial to understand the tactics often employed by CPS that can infringe upon your rights. One common tactic is the unannounced home visit. CPS workers may arrive at your doorstep without a warrant, demanding entry to inspect your home and interview your children. They may use intimidation tactics, pressuring you to comply by suggesting that refusal will result in your children being taken away. Another tactic is the use of leading
Brenda, your mic's off. You're not, no one is hearing you. There you go, you're in now.
All right. All right. I had it on damn speaker. Sorry about that. Okay, again. All right. So this is what's been going on, guys. Like I say, I'm trying to let you know that usually when things are spilt and I have these little just mishaps or whatever, something weird's going on. And so I get a call, of course. I was using my phone to do the show. My husband's called. He hadn't called since like probably this morning. So he says he's got a PC himself. So something's going on. I'm telling you, this has been just really a nightmare because it's just on and on and on with the inhumane conditions that he's going through in this prison where he's not getting his medications that was rightly had all the prescriptions. He's got the prescriptions, but all of a sudden he's not getting any of his medicines. And in order to get his medicines to keep continuing to come in, which they haven't since April, I believe, he's supposed to talk to the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is there every Friday, but he's not there. He's over a screen. Oh, okay. We got a call-in guest. Hello, are you being a call-in guest?
Oh, you're live?
I'm live. I had to come back. I had to take care of some stuff at the prison where my husband's being continually tortured and abused, and he was ready to PC himself. So I had to leave the show for a second, but it is live now. Are you able to connect in there?
I got a mouthful of food.
Oh, well, no, I mean, are you able to see the show? I mean, you should be. Did you want me to send you a link or something?
No, what's it, you're on which one?
Bring Back Brenda.
Okay.
On YouTube. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you a little bit. All
Okay.
right. So that was Facts Over Lies herself calling in. And so let me get caught up with the comments, guys. Okay. Let me do that. Okay. We are going to remember Trenton, by the way. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And, and it's difficult during these times of not being able to, communicate with your kids and or, your loved ones. And when these birthdays are coming by and stuff like that. I wonder why I can't control that. I wonder what's going on. Oh, I think I know what happened. Instead of unplugging the speaker like I thought I was, can you all hear me okay? Okay. Okay, so I was trying to control and see if I can go back on these messages. And hello to you, Debbie. Have you seen the TikTok how they are taking these undocumented foster children? I haven't been getting on TikTok very much. Yeah, can you send me the link to that, Debbie? That's pretty interesting because I know they want to cry. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Have you seen the TikTok how they are taking these undocumented foster children, undocumented? So that means they're like illegals. Is that what that means? Our children deserve to have us in their lives. No more deprived parents. Thank you. They can't keep me down, but I'm still alive. Is that exactly right? It's just like that song. It reminds me, I get knocked down and I get up again, because that's what you got to do, guys. It's a never ending And like I say, you know, how many stories did you read in the Bible where these different ones have been imprisoned falsely? And why? Because they believed and they supported you know, Christ and what he was doing, walking on the earth or whatever. And people were tortured and you know,
in
killed for this.
foster care if they don't have any papers.
Foster children from their foster homes for deportation.
Whoa, 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 back up, back up, back up. Why, first of all, are these children in foster care if they don't have any papers? How are you getting paid for an illegal child in foster care? That's my fucking question.
Okay. That was a, you know, that lady, I haven't seen her for a while. I used to, don't I know her? Darren,
Yeah, that's
has
Josie.
she been on
That's
here?
yeah. Josie was she's been on our show
Okay,
for a long time.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that I haven't seen her in a long time. So
No, she got arrested for talking out about this stuff with us. That's why she's been gone.
well,
Apparently her
hello,
dad's with her.
join the club, right?
Yeah. I didn't even realize that was going to be what came up on it. I was just scanning through the TikTok thing and I was just seeing what she was talking about.
Right.
And I didn't realize she was going to pop up there. Do you want to watch a couple of those videos of what people are talking about?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll put them on.
Let's do it.
All right.
And like we're talking about, I mean, all this unrest in the streets, and they can just go up to these cops, which are really just local cops. They're not going really doing much to these other ones.
Why, first of all, are
We have breaking news right now. According to the Miami Herald, Florida officials handed over a 17-year-old Honduran foster child to ICE custody. The 17-year-old teenage boy, who is possibly a labor trafficking victim based on reporting from the Miami Herald, was literally taken from his Pensacola foster home in shackles. And this rule likely violates a 30-year-old state Department of Children's and Families rule that prohibits workers from acting upon a child's status. Henry is from Honduras. He crossed the border with his mother. From Texas, he moved to Pensacola. He entered foster care after being found living in a shed with no food, shelter, or income. And according to reports, he may have been a victim of labor trafficking. And so he was put in the foster care system, had a foster home, had a stable environment. And Florida officials just handed him over to ICE. And he was led out of his foster home, his safe environment, in shackles. Read the full story on the Miami Herald's website. Spread the word so more people know what's happening. Subscribe to my Substack, linked in bio for more, and follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have breaking news.
Well, you know, I would like to see more what this guy's got to say. That's kind of funny, though, is, again, the focus is on the undocumented, the illegals. That is the focus. Okay, yeah, it was a child that was harmed. But when is there going to be any attention to the American children that families fought for this country?
Mm-hmm.
It really is getting frustrating to see one thing after the other. Like I was just about to say earlier, is they're crying. These illegals are crying, or the people that are families maybe left behind, that the ones that are getting arrested, saying, "Oh, the children are being torn away from their family." Do you think we're going to have any compassion for this at all? When this is going to happen to us, how long ago? And again, it seems like just a continued thing, because didn't I see something similar going on like this throughout the years since my kids have been taken almost a decade ago now? I mean, I've been seeing it, and I was saying the same thing back then, is hello, I can't feel sorry for them when American children are being ripped away from their biological families.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just can't get over it, guys. All right, let me see if I can, what's going on in the comments here. Okay, well, you got any more? You got any more, Darren? A very good program, but it kept...
I just read that ICE agents are going to the homes of people who are foster care for undocumented children. And I just like, okay, Then there's this other story where this guy was in the Kandahar Strike Force. It was a branch of the Afghan army that would protect U.S. soldiers on military bases. He's got 8 children. 2 of them are American. He was brought here by the U.S. Army. He's in ICE custody. He's going to be deported. You know, there's the high school kid who is on his way to volleyball practice, an honor roll student. He's been arrested. Mahmoud Khalil is still in custody. And I just want to know, like, how long are the American people going to tolerate this? They got the U.S. Marines standing around, probably watching TikToks, doing nothing at the order of the president. You know, this is what happens when you elect someone like Donald Trump, this
so now
unrelenting narcissist. And he's going to parade the U.S. military down American streets for his birthday. All right. I just read that.
Wow. Okay, so again, you can see how they're going to turn it around to think that Trump is to blame for this. Trump wasn't in office when all those children had been taken away under the Biden administration and Obama's administration. Because I can tell you this, my kids were taken during Obama's administration, right before the election when Trump was running against Hillary. So my question is, okay, so you got these illegals, okay, what about that Haitian lady and her son that had my daughter out there in Fort Myers, okay? If anybody wants to look up that one, Esther Barthelos, because apparently she was fostering all kinds of kids that ran away from her house. And then adopting them as well. And the ones that had really horrible, ailments, as physically and mental ailments, that's when she adopted them, and she wanted to adopt my Sage and Chris too. And even though she stated in the discoveries from my Charlotte County case, she stated, "Oh no, I don't foster boys. I just don't do it anymore, like she did in the past." I mean, how many years has this lady been doing it? And my question is she even legal? And so that's where we got to be careful. Where's that line being crossed? If there's an illegal fostering our American kids, then what's going to happen? Can the kids come back home now? Is that what's going to happen? Because I sure hope so. Let me see. Oh, yeah, your thing. Sure thing, Florida Mom. And Florida Mom, I got to say, Florida Mom has gone through this for longer than me and some of you all put together. And she's a young lady that I don't know, like some people ask me, Brenda, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how she does it, okay? Because she was a victim herself during, all that stuff going on with Epstein and all that. And now, 5 of her children are taken away from her care. And they're elderly abuse. Again, with the elderly abuse, they're trying to take her mom and go make money off her too, because there's so many people that would, just for instance, like a family member has the opportunity to take guardianship of your children, and then all of a sudden they start getting that greed, just like this CPS and those foster people that want to take your kids. And then all of a sudden, your family members turning on you, and all they can think is, well, geez, I could take this relative child of mine and use it to my benefit, because even though I don't really want to care for this child in any way, shape, or form, I'm living a pretty good life with all the money I'm getting from doing it. And they ain't going to come and do no welfare checks and stuff like that. And God forbid, if your husband's in prison and he asks for a welfare check, they'll let you know, oh, well, he's alive. And when you haven't heard from him for 4 days, I mean, what in the world do God forbid, people. I mean, hopefully they're going to go down and set the people free that are imprisoned that didn't do a damn thing wrong. Like you have this lady, Josie. She was arrested. I was arrested when I said I was going to go down last summer to rally up the troops and grab our posters and go down and walk Washington. All of a sudden, oh, what? I'm in jail? And who else is in jail? Chris Archer or Chris Griffiths or whatever his name is. He's in jail. Marion County, Florida. And who else? It's just like, my God. Darren was arrested. I keep continually, and we moved away from Florida because we didn't want to be arrested anymore. But it doesn't matter what state you live in when they have these false bulletins and threat tags on you. What? You're going on there, talking on the airwaves that, oh, hey, look we're pointing out police abuse, and hey, we're criticizing the FBI's work, which, hello, can we look back to Ruby Ridge or, Randy Weaver and all that? Or what about the Branch Davidian? Whatever the fuck going on over there. Why don't you leave them motherfuckers alone? I'm sorry about my language, but this is getting me pretty worked up. Let me see. If they are selling children in foster care that are in ICE situations, then how many have they done this to our American? Exactly my point, right? Exactly my point. Okay, Classic Mom. Hey, hello. Thank you for joining. I was sending you a message the other day. We haven't messaged for a minute, so hopefully you're doing okay. Oh, okay. So, like I say, some of us are very new to that. Priscilla, she was on the other show the other day. Priscilla hasn't been in this very long. They've got little babies. I mean, 2 and not even 1 year old kids. They're just nabbing them up from the hospital, guys. I mean, that's why I say definitely get a hold of me if you've had a child within the last 10 years and you get a hold of me because they're doing some certain things in regards to the hospitals and how they're working with and to take and abduct these families, kids that are on Medicaid. Okay, hello, jigs up, we gotcha. Today is the 1-year mark of the removal of my children. I'm sorry, so sorry, Wet Plant. See, again, it's like you can say you guys are babies, you're younglings to this, when unfortunately we're veterans of this, unfortunately, because that's why I like to tell you what my experience is along a way through my case and through the case plan and all that stuff. And then when you come in telling me, oh, okay, hold up, guys. I'm going to have to make sure everything's going on with Chris. Let me see. Oh, okay. They're just... All right. So I'm just gonna move my camera for a minute, and Darren, maybe you can play some more things. I gotta take this. Like I say, my husband's trying to PC himself. Hey, what's up?
Hello, this is a prepaid call from a detainee.
Oh, jeez. Now it's not letting me answer, guys.
To accept this call, press 0.
I'm trying, believe me.
Your balance is $9.70. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
I mean, maybe you guys could be witnesses to this stuff. Hey, what's going on? Did anybody get a hold of you?
Yeah, got hold of me quick.
Okay, so did you get what you needed?
No, they just talked to me. They moved me out.
They moved you into a different pod or what?
No, nothing here. You talked about maybe I'll try to during the week here. Like if somebody else trying to get moved out, some more bond manager.
So did they say anything about your tablet and the return of it, or maybe the new tablet they should be assigned to?
No.
So I wonder if it's the same guy. Do you know? Was it a couple guys you talked to, or who was it?
There was a guy talking to.
Well, yeah, like I'm still doing this live, and we're just documenting. That's what I say. That's what we can do. Document it every step of the way. I mean, also, I just wanted to tell you that we were able to talk to the attorney today in regards to what's going on over there. Okay, and our son happened to be, who is a doctor, happened to be there at the time he called. So it kind of worked out that we were able to straighten a couple things out and have a plan of what we needed to do. So just letting you know that, as well as anybody over here that's listening on the show. Because like I say, we're watching the stuff, Chris, that ends up that some of these people that are fostering kids, they could be like, it could be they're illegals and fostering American kids, or it's the other way around where they're Americans and they're fostering these undocumented, kids. It's just disgusting. And then people want to turn it around and blame Trump somehow on this stuff, It's ridiculous.
All right, well, let it go. Thank you for all you're doing. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Brenda.
Okay, sorry I couldn't talk to you longer. I love you. I love you very much.
Love you. Love you. You're beautiful.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
You're doing.
All right. Take care of yourself. All right. Love you. Okay, and there you have it, guys. Okay. Because again, I'm not hiding the fact that my husband has been in prison because of the same judge that stole my children initially. And like I say, the hell has not ended. In fact, you didn't think it could get worse, and then it did. We were at a point and we're like, well, hello, at least we have our freedom, but then they want to take that away from us as well. Oh, Lord in heaven. Okay, so let me get caught up here. And again, what plans? I'm just saddened by this whole situation. I met a young mother down the road here, and yesterday, a week ago, I helped her print out some papers. She's working on her affidavit. She sent out something. We're going to do another one. We're going to get a more detailed affidavit. We're going to do everything we can. And this poor girl, she doesn't have much, but she does have a beautiful place to stay, that she rents out. And she did get her kids back, but she's not going to back down because she knows what they did to her is completely against the law. And I'm glad to say that she's a fighter, and even so much that I always thought to myself, man, if I had my kids back, I'd just that'd be it. I wouldn't be messing around here. But people like Danielle, she's got her son back, and she's still fighting and helping people every step of the way. And she's helping people so much. It's just it's been a lot of stress on her. And she needs to take care of herself. Welcome, Class of Palm. We're here for you. Exactly. We're here for you. And that's what the show is about, so that you guys can come in, share your stories, and share your problems, and feel free to say anything you want, because we're here, and y'all know that everybody that's in this chat right here can call me anytime you want. Any of us. Danielle, we're here now. Gunner's wife, Sharon, she would be willing, and she's very calm speaker. So, she doesn't get excited like I do. God forbid, she might be better for you than me. My kids were taken because of the Clinton crime family. Yeah, exactly. And again, it's with the Democrats, right? Because you got Clinton, and then you had Okay, so who was like, okay, the vice president when Clinton, what was it, Al Gore? And then when he went around the second time, I think there was a second time with Clinton, wasn't there? But then you had Obama, okay? And then Obama, you had Biden as vice president, okay? That was a big start of a big problem. I couldn't believe that Obama got in for another 4 years. I was like beside myself. And so it's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with people? I mean, it seems like there's more. Let's just pray and God forbid that there's more good people in this world than there is these horrible people that would want to harm children and just for monetary gain or for sick rituals or whatever their sick nature might be. Child welfare agencies consider adopting is human trafficking. Do they consider that though? You're saying, that's what we're saying. I can't believe that there's a welfare agency saying that adopting is human trafficking. Because I think it is. In my situation, my kids were adopted out, but that's exactly what's happening, right? There's money involved in this, and they're human beings, right? So there you have it. Same damn thing. We can have equals. Fostering equals human trafficking. Adopting equals human trafficking. Okay? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm still here, and I'm willing to help anyone who has been through this so they don't go through what I do daily, 20 plus years of trauma and cruel and unusual torture. And like I say, and then they'll come and try to take your elderly, it's elder abuse is what's going on. And it's going on with my husband right there. So you hear him, okay, sure, they're going to come talk to him. Okay, and then everybody's probably getting, all the inmates are like, what are you going to be talking to? Because he can't take it. I told him he doesn't want to be in an open dorm. Can he get that's it. He can't take it, especially without his anxiety medicine. I mean, it's like it levels him out, what Slaxo, whatever you want to call it, gives you those little happy endorphins. I mean, come on, people. I go to the court on the 18th for the crap with my mother's and brother's issues. Yeah, and again, so sorry about your uncle that apparently there's how many situations I've heard where somebody is in the same house that you either own or you're a part of helping pay the bills and keeping all this, and then there's some bad player that comes in and all of a sudden they're stirring up things and calling CPS and doing everything they can to get the cops at your door. It's ridiculous. Again, another family member. Did you see the 7 cops that were charged with murder of the pregnant woman during a hot pursuit chase in West Palm this week? No, I did not. Please, Darren, if you're back there, did you see the 7 cops that were charged with murder of a pregnant woman during a hot pursuit chase in West Palm this week? Because that's right where a Florida mom is. And I definitely will look that up if Darren doesn't fool me. But the thing is, that's why I was hoping to do it the other way around, where I'd use my phone for this, and then we could look up these things, because I can't. If I put down the brightness of my phone, I might be able to do some of that. Is Danielle doing a show tonight? Dr. Death, I really don't know. Okay. I don't think so. I was hoping that she might want to pop in on my show, but as I understand it, there was some health issues going on, as we've heard, and we're just hoping and praying that she gets the god awful rest that she needs to survive through this, because stress and the broken heart syndrome, I tell you guys, it'll do a number on you. Okay. So if anybody wants to talk to me about what's going on, with that situation, give me a hit up through Messenger or something. But just all I can do is say, hey, you guys, pray for Danielle and her family and everything that's going on with her. Child welfare is a baby. Well, I'm gonna let that one slide because I can't put it together. Is a baby broken? Maybe it's a baby broken. Chase case plans are illegal. Tell Chris we said hi and we are behind him. Okay, I will. I'll let him know because in fact Fact Over Lies was saying she was watching some of Chris's videos, his old videos that he put on his channel, and she said she was laughing so damn hard. In fact, I think that was the rogue journalist InfoWars reporting that he was doing, and she said she was laughing so hard she hadn't have laughed that hard in her life. Like, and that's what we need is a little, comedy relief. I can understand why they call it comedy relief. Am I right, guys? I got a CPS emit that the judge in my case is not being unbiased in my court case. They told me yesterday. I got a CPS to admit, to admit that the judge in my case is not being unbiased. Oh, thank you very much. Look at all those hearts. And it's red, white, and blue, 100%. Don't ever let anyone treat you bad. Standing strong for everyone's children. American kids matter too. Exactly. Look at all those hearts. Now that take a minute to put all those hearts in there. I appreciate it. Awesome, Dr. Death. Keep your head up, Chris. Exactly. Danielle, you're in our prayers. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. I mean, I am Alex Jones. Classic mom. Don't mess with me now. Don't get me started. Because, classic mom, we were figuring out that's when our troubles were starting, is when Chris was doing all these things where he's doing the Alex Jones contest. We went all across the country doing that contest where they're putting up posters, Obama dictator posters, to try to win the contest. And then what I found out later, which I didn't even understand, is they also did one some years later where something about Darren, another thing I'd like to look up is what's going on with Alex Jones, and was requesting like these Joker videos. I don't really get that. I don't know, Joker videos. And I swear we did a little sketch with the kids in regards to Chris would play a little bit of what Alex Jones was saying, and then Chris and the kids would react to it. I'm talking about Sage and Chris. They were just, I don't even know, they were about 6 and 8 back then, something like that. That's when I remember that clearly, because you can look back at these videos, which you're doing the videos like home videos that you can remember. And if you're putting them up on YouTube, or even if you keep them in a private setting, there you got your storage of your videos kept nice and safely for you, and you can pop them up on your phone anytime. I mean, and God forbid that we try to do some family videos, and then somebody wants to turn it around like it's some horrible thing, Oh, so what? Somebody's going to dress up and maybe try to throw it out there for everybody to see. Run around like the Joker, acting like a nut. Like, Darren, in that one video that Joker loses his shit. And that was a remake of Nicolas Cage Loses His Shit. So watch that first, guys. You go up on YouTube and watch Nicolas Cage Loses His Shit. And then you type in the Joker Loses His Shit. And then you can imagine that these guys are bringing up this goofy-ass video that Chris did at my kids' dependency hearing, at the hearings where they forfeited our Jeep Patriot. What does that have to do with the balls in China, as they say? I never understand that saying, but what does it have to do with anything is what I mean. It is against the will of the people. Exactly. And Chris needs to be free. You're telling me. I mean, he doesn't need to go into isolation, right? He needs to be freaking out of there. So, I mean, what do you get behind like iron walls, like that song was saying? What do you get? You get a depression, you get malnutrition. They don't see the light of day. Over at Bay Correctional, it's all in one building. Okay, when you go to Chow Hall, you're not walking out and breathing in the fresh air of the outdoors, or seeing the going to breakfast and seeing the moonrise. I mean, that was the only thing got me through with my mental health, is being able to get outdoors and go get your medicine. I don't care if it was raining or whatever, but at least I was outside. Some of those days that was freezing, that was another story. But we used to get up in the morning and go to breakfast, and yeah, we'd wait in a line and go get breakfast at the one building, go to see the chaplain in another building, and you're walking around, going through gates, and you're outside, and you got that freedom, even though you're within, these huge barbed wire or whatever fences. But if you are going to be in a privately owned jail or prison, and this stuff is happening, where you're feeding these guys, what is it? Everything that's white, as Chris was always say before he got into prison, he'd say anything white except for cauliflower is really much bad for you. The milk, that there's bad things about that. The rice, the bread. I mean, those are all things you want to be eating. Now, today, as the advice of, because shit might be hitting the fan right where you live, guys. And this is going on, this 14th is not long away. Okay, it's going to be in every state across this country. Is these Democrats are getting some type of idea, or whoever these crazy nuts are, the undocumented, saying it's all about ICE. There's a lot more that it's about. Okay, it's a lot more that it's about, but it's going to be happening nationwide. And so be careful, stock up, because God forbid, if you're living in one of these bigger towns or cities, God bless you. Because it's happening, Houston, Texas. We got Atlanta, Georgia. We got New York. What was the last night? Chicago. And of course, I think it all started in Minneapolis from the get-go. And then you had this stuff going on in Los Angeles and all around in that area ever since Friday. And believe me, I was like, I haven't seen crap going on in the news. If I wanted to see something about wars, I'd go and watch that Yair Pinto on the TBN reporting about Israel and what's going on over there. And that ends up being like, oh, it's the same old, same old. They're using these civilians as human shields. They're tunneling under places like schools and churches. And this is what the Hamas is doing. Okay, so isn't it such a similarity that what's going on with these people, and especially again with the trafficking? Because what's going on in these tunnels, from P. Diddy's to the Playboy Mansion and all these underground things that are going on, where they're just moving human beings, human trafficking, underground human trafficking. Did you ever hear of it? Pizzagate. People might think you're crazy out of your mind, but it's happening. Okay, it's a damn truth. It's a damn truth, and I wish it wasn't conspiracy. I really do. I really do, because it's really sick to think what this country has come to when you do everything, you birth your children, you do everything possible to raise them properly, and then somebody can just walk in and say, hey, hello, we're going to take your kids because we don't think you can do a proper job, or just because, you know, they don't even really give an excuse. What? You like to smoke weed? What? You like to preach about Jesus? Well, we're not going to have that around here. You must be crazy, right? Yeah, we're crazy. We're crazy, all right. They ain't seen crazy yet, Kim, all right? Let me see. Brenda sent the link about cops on text. Okay. Okay. All right, let's do it. You guys not be able to see it, but because I don't hear Darren back there. Darren, if you are there, I could forward it to him and then he could do it. Sorry guys. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Darren, I'm gonna put it to your messenger if you're there. Fight CPS right there. And yeah, as far as Darren goes, a lot of times I was always confused, you know, what was going on with the name of the show, breaking news, CPS breaking news, or CPS v hunting for justice, victims hunting for justice, CPS v hunting for justice at gmail.com. And if you want to find Darren up on Facebook, it's Fight CPS. Okay, so Darren, yeah, it's like you're sending us a bunch of mixed signals, but you know, I'm trying to straighten it out because I'm saying there's too much confusion when people are trying to find a show. But now that everybody's got their names on their shows, Danielle's doing Unmasking Foster Care Corruption. You got Gunner. You got the evening shows. That's CPS breaking news. And you have some other people coming in with Sharon's show and whatnot. And then people are going to get familiar and say, well, what is this? Brenda, because I can tell you, when I play this, you know, I connect my YouTube channel to this, I don't get any views there. In fact, it's easier to read the messages up over here, I guess. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to look up. My son is going out of
questions during interviews with children. CPS workers may ask suggestive questions that influence a child's responses, potentially painting an inaccurate picture of the
Hi, Brenda from Canada. Hey, John. Hey, how's
home environment.
Thanks for
They
joining,
may have interviews,
John.
making them more susceptible to manipulation. Furthermore, CPS often relies on the opinions of mandated reporters such as teachers and doctors, who are legally obligated to report suspected abuse. However, these reports are sometimes based on subjective observations or misunderstandings, leading to unfounded investigations. It is vital to remember that you have rights.
Cover the truth about Islamic history.
You have the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney.
Darren, are you there? We got a couple of requests about playing some stuff. You're saying this video, Bridget. I'll look that up. Okay. In fact, overlies. Let me play this because Darren might think of some.
Gets 123 million visits a day, and most people still use it like a toy. Here's how to use it.
Okay.
25 News at 11 starts with breaking news.
Breaking news at 11:07. West Palm Beach police officers turned themselves in hours ago in connection with a deadly police chase that killed a mother and her pregnant daughter. Good evening. I'm Felicia Rodriguez. WPBF 25 News first broke the story when that crash happened back in July. Let's get right to Ari Height live outside the Palm Beach County Jail with the breaking details. Ari?
And over the last hour or so, Felicia, we've seen 4 people leave the jail who we believe are of those 7 West Palm Beach police officers who did turn themselves in tonight. They all walked right past our camera. They did not make any comment at all. Multiple sources, though, have confirmed for us that those 7 police officers did turn themselves in earlier this evening. This is all in connection with a fatal car crash that happened last July in Boynton Beach. That was when a car driven by a man named Neone Copeland crashed into another car. Marcia Pochette and her pregnant daughter, Janice Woods, were in that other car. They were both killed. 7 West Palm Beach police officers were placed on administrative leave shortly after. They faced allegations they had been chasing Copeland for miles right up until the moment of the crash. It's not clear tonight exactly what charges those 7 officers are now facing. It's also not clear if all 7 will be released tonight or if some will be spending the night in jail. I reached out to both the West Palm Beach Police and the state attorney's office. Neither would confirm that the officers had turned themselves in. They both also declined to comment in any way about the investigation. We are expecting, though, to get a lot more details about this tomorrow morning. That's the very latest, reporting live from the Palm Beach County Jail.
Wow. That's crazy because
Thank you. Our investigator.
in all that is Darren. Do you see what John is saying? Are you able to find this? It's Bridget Gabriel just uncovered the truth about Islamic history, and it's terrifying. Saya Oran, whatever, the traveling class. And then again, I don't know, Darren. Are we running into the late night show or something? The newest.
Come on.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can see because see if you're
Holy
playing.
smokes!
Smokes. Darren. We got two of you, Darren. I didn't know you had a twin.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of one. That's been the problem this whole time. I don't know how I got 2 of me, but there is. So bear with me. So yeah, I've been seeing everything that's going on. I'm just trying to get rid of those 2 of me.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find this Bridget because he's spelling that Bridget a different name. Hopefully, you got the right spelling on that Bridget, and then I can find this Bridget.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that.
Oh, you got it.
I'm here now. All right, now what am I looking for? I'm sorry about that. Play this video.
Something about Bridget Gabriel.
Just uncovered the truth about Islamic history, and it's terrifying. Okay, hold on. Let me look for that.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll see what they're talking about. The newest arrest in Texas, sex trafficking bust. 144 arrested. Whoa. Operation Syria Shield, Plano, Texas. 109 missing kids rescued. Wow. Wonder if any of those, my kids are young adults now, so I don't know, what chance we're going to have to find these adults that all have been, abused in these inhumane ways that have been in the system for so long that, they're adults now and they're shattered, their shattered lives that CPS has taken away from them. Okay, John's saying it is on YouTube.
Got it.
Suffer. Let's see.
Why is it? All right, I got it. There we go. Bridget, simple.
Now is I'm going to crunch 1,400 years of Islamic history in 5 minutes and make it as exciting as I can possibly make it.
By the way, guys, if you love my channel and you love what I do here, support by subscribing right now. We're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers. We're getting real close. So please help me on that mission.
Because I hated history when I was a little girl. At this age, I appreciate history. And now I understand why they say those who learn from history doomed to repeat it. In order for you to understand why Western civilization is very different than the Islamic world, you need to understand the history of Islam. When Prophet Muhammad supposedly revealed his revelation from the angel Gabriel that he is supposed to be the last of the prophets in the early 600s, he started preaching in his own city, Mecca. He tried to recruit friends and followers to be able to spread his religion. And he tried for 12 years and failed. 12 years, he was only able to recruit his immediate family and friends. So he decided, if I go to Medina, which was the Jewish hub of Arabia, the business hub where the Jews lived, if I go there and preach my religion to them, if they accept me, that will buy me respect and stature between my own people, and they will accept me. So Prophet Muhammad started borrowing a lot from the Old Testament to make his religion more palpable to the Jews, to make it a lot similar. This is why you see a lot of similarities between Judaism and Islam. For example, Jews don't eat pigs, Muslims don't eat pigs. Jews pray a few times a day, Muslims pray a few times a day. Jews fast on Yom Kippur, Muslims fast on Ramadan. And this is why you started seeing a lot of good writing in the beginning of the Quran when Prophet Muhammad was saying all the good things about the people of the book. He took his message and went to Medina trying to recruit the Jews, talking about the people of the book, talking about how similar the two religions are. When they refused to accept him and follow him as the last of the prophet, that's when he turned against them and started killing them and started expelling them. That's when Islam went from a spiritual movement for the first 12 years of Islam into a political movement cloaked in religion after the year of the Hijrah, after Muhammad went to Medina and the Jews did not accept him. He became a military warrior and declared war on them and started expelling them. Jews and Christians became dhimmi, or second-class citizens. They were only allowed to stay alive and not be killed only by paying the jizya or the protection tax. So they had a choice: convert to Islam, or if you want to stay alive, you have to pay the jizya or protection tax, living as dhimmi in the Islamic nation. Christians and Jews could not ring church bells. Jews could not blow the shofar. Christians could not ring church bells. They could not pray publicly. Christians and Jews could not gather together and build new churches or new temples. And the way they paid the jizya or the protection tax was in a monthly ceremony where they would get together downtown and the Jew would kneel on his knee and hand his goods to the mullah, who would take the goods as the price for buying the protection. And in many areas, Jews and Christians were given necklaces to wear as a receipt that they paid their jizya or their protection tax. Jews considered najis under Islam. Najis is bodily fluid. Najis is garbage. Najis is dogs. Najis is dirty. So Christians and Jews were treated as second-class citizens. Islam continued to grow. As Islam grew, more people became dhimmi or second-class citizens. Jews and Christians were given identifiable clothing. The yellow star, which was given to the Jews that most people think is a German invention. It was actually an Islamic invention in the 9th century in Iraq by the second Khalif al-Mutawakkil of Iraq, who invented the yellow star for the Jews to be identified as they walked down the street. Because Jews were considered najis, if a Muslim man or a Jew walked on the same side of the street, the Jew had to cross the other side so the Muslim man can walk, so he's not dirtied by the filth of the Jew. Christians were given the zunnar, the belt, which most of you men are wearing right now. That was an Islamic invention for the Christians. Islam continued to grow. They went all the way to Jerusalem. They conquered Jerusalem. Christians couldn't ring their church bells in Jerusalem. The Pope in Rome in 1090 told the Christians, how could you sit idly by and allow your brethren to suffer like this in the Holy Land? You need to go liberate the Christians. You need to go help the Christians. That's why the Crusaders were launched. The Crusaders were not launched because they just felt like waking up in the morning and going and converting a bunch of Muslims or beheading them. The Crusaders were launched to liberate Jerusalem. And they were able to liberate Jerusalem for less than 100 years before Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, Saladin, took it back, and Jerusalem remained under Islamic control until 1967, when the State of Israel liberated Jerusalem, where Christians, Jews, and Muslims could pray under the same sky. The Crusaders continued fighting Islam, and for 300 years they tried and failed. And by the 1300s, the Crusaders disappeared because they could not win against Islam. Islam continued to expand. They went all the way to Central Europe. They went all the way to China. They went to India. They conquered Spain. They changed the name of Spain from Spain to Andalusia. And they started, as they advanced, as they conquered more nations, more people paid the jizya or the protection tax. And this is how the Islamic Empire grew. It went all the way until they was stopped at the gates of Vienna on 9/11. 9/11 is not a date that Osama bin Laden just picked out of a hat. 9/11 is a symbolic date in the Islamic calendar. Between the 1600s, Islam had covered more of the earth's surface than the Roman Empire did at its peak. Between the 1600s and the 1800s, the Europeans were experiencing the European Industrial Revolution, where the Europeans were able to invent products on factory lines, where they were able to make money and sell products, which gave them the money to build a strong army in order to fight the Muslims. And that's how they were able to stop them at the gates of Vienna on 9/11. The Europeans started the pushback against Islam. They pushed them out of Europe. They pushed them out of all the way to the Middle East and North Africa. By 1924, the Islamic Empire ended. In 1924, the Islamic Caliphate ended in Turkey by President Ataturk, who was a secularist. He ended the Islamic Empire, and he gave women rights to vote. He gave women a right to an education, a right to work, a right to choose a husband. He forbid women from wearing the hijab. He forbid men from wearing the beard. The Muslims hate him so much that they consider him a Jewish agent, because they believe that his mother in her bloodline was Jewish, and that was the influence on Ataturk. By the time the Islamic Empire or the Islamic Caliphate or the Islamic State ended in 1924, the Islamic Caliphate had existed for 1400 years, and it ended less than 100 years ago. By the time the Islamic Caliphate ended in 1924, 270 million people around the world were killed by Islam. 270 million. And we didn't have weapons of mass destruction, and there was nuclear weapons. All of these people were killed, butchered by the sword. The people in the world, less than 100 years ago, how many people knew this history? Please raise your hand. We in America have failed to educate our children about history. We in America failed to educate our population about history. Our children in high school, you take any 17, 16-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, and ask them about World War II. They can't even tell you what happened in World War II. For them, it's ancient history, and we still have our World War II veteran walking among us. That's how little we know of history. Islam ended in 1924, the Caliphate. People thought the Caliphate will never be resurrected. The Caliphate will never come back. But two things happened in the Middle East in the last century that made the Islamists be able to resurrect the Caliphate. Number one is the discovery of oil in Saudi Arabia, which we were able to discover and were stupid enough to allow them to nationalize it. And the number two that happened was Ayatollah Khomeini coming to power in 1979. That gave the Islamists the money and also the spiritual covering in order to explode on the world stage. And people say, oh, well, the Wahhabis exported their Wahhabi radical religion. The Wahhabis are the name of Wahhab. They're not a different sect of Islam. They follow the authentic preaching of Prophet Muhammad, the way Prophet Muhammad lived and practiced his religion. This is why neither you or me or any infidel can step a foot in Mecca, because as far as they're concerned, we are filth. And as infidels, we're not allowed to step a foot, not President Obama and not anybody else. As a matter of fact, Al-Qaeda used to use Saudi Arabia and its success as an excuse to recruit members, as the example to show them how Allah has blessed Saudi Arabia because of the way they adhere to the tenets of Islam. And today we talk about ISIS. ISIS is not a new invention. ISIS resurrected the caliphate that ended less than 100 years ago. Except we are too ignorant and too uninformed to understand what ISIS is doing and why ISIS is succeeding. Two things you need to understand about Islam and the principles of war in Islam. One is the law of taqiyya, which means lying and deception.
Yep.
It means that a Muslim man can lay his hand on the Quran and swear that he is telling the truth, knowing that he is lying, but also knowing that the Quran will forgive him because he is advancing the cause of Islam. The second thing you need to know about is that the Treaty of Al-Hudaybiyah, which is an Islamic principle of war and a model on how to deceive your enemy when you have to sign peace treaties with your enemy. And it is based on an example by Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was attacking the Meccans and their caravans when he was living in Medina. One day he attacked them because this is how he got the goodies. He would attack them, rob them, and spread the goodies among his men. And this is how he was able to recruit, because this is how people made money without working. And so he attacked the Meccan caravans. When he realized he's not able to defeat the Meccans in that city of Al-Hudaybiyah, in that place, he signed a 10-year treaty with them. Does that sound familiar? A 10-year treaty with them that says he will not attack them, he will have peace with them, he will not declare war on them. Muhammad used the treaty for 2 years to build his military, strengthen his army, and when he realized he was strong enough to attack his enemies when they least expected it, because they thought they had a peace treaty with Muhammad, he broke the treaty, attacked them 2 years later, and Mecca fell within 24 hours because they were not expecting the attack. And that became a principle of war in Islam. And to give you an example of how that is practiced, this is why anything signed with Iran means nothing to them.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. You cannot make peace with the IRGC. Absolutely true.
And to give you an example of how this law has been put to use in recent history, Yasser Arafat, who's not an Islamist, but he is a Muslim, met with the Israelis and signed the Oslo Accord in 1993. Remember all the handshaking at the lawn of the White House? The Oslo Accord, Yasser Arafat used the peace treaty, the Oslo Accord with Israel, to get Israel to bring him back and give him his territory, finance his military, train his police, and give his police the weapons. Yasser Arafat broke the Oslo Accord 8 years later, didn't even wait 10 years, and declared the second intifada in 2000, and all hell broke loose. He used the same treaty to win and deceive against his enemies and deceive his enemies. When Jordanian press, after Yasser Arafat signed the Oslo Accord with Israel, and Egyptian press would interview Yasser Arafat, and they would say, how could you sign a peace treaty with the devil? How could you sign a peace treaty with the Jews? Yasser Arafat will tell them, remember Hudaybiyah. That's all he would have to say. The whole Muslim world knew exactly what Yasser Arafat was talking about. We in the West and the Jews in Israel, it was over their heads. Nobody understood what Hudaybiyah was referring to. And this is the type of deception that we are dealing with. So when Iran signs a peace treaty with the United States for 10 years, they are using us as useful idiots, as gullible, ignorant people who are signing a peace treaty with the devil in order for Iran to continue her thing. That is why it is so important to be wise about who we're going to put in the White House next year.
And this is why I say in all these news updates that we're talking about with Trump negotiating with the IRGC, and there's reports that he's getting dangerously close to cutting a deal. You have to understand this core tenet of...
Okay, so I just want to address this one comment too. Chris Brayton is saying her son got out of that place on Monday. There was some type of placement with their foster, where he's being fostering pretty much far away from where she lives. We still don't know what's going on, what my lawyer said, and he have not gotten no picture. Man, I'm so sorry, and I haven't talked to you in a while, Chris Brayton. I'm sorry that you're going through that. I do got something up here. Okay, let's see what we have this turned up. This is what the 244 charged with child sex crimes in North Texas. They're calling it. I know Fact Over Lies put it in there. Let's watch it.
In tonight with more. Alex.
Hi, Steve. You know, when this operation first started a decade ago, it was a joint effort between a small group of cyber crimes against children investigators and the FBI Dallas office. Now it's a statewide operation, resulting in the arrest of 244 offenders this year. 11 were arrested in the Northern District of Texas.
Today we stand united, local, state, and federal law enforcement, with one clear mission: to protect our children and hold predators accountable.
Law enforcement officers from 70 different agencies, including the Dallas, Plano, Wiley, and Garland police departments, took part in a statewide operation that led to the arrest of 244 offenders charged with a variety of child sex crimes.
The number brings to light to the harm being done behind closed doors to our communities, and more specifically, our children.
Operation Soteria Shield was a month-long operation conducted in April. The goal was to identify children who are victims of online sexual exploitation and bring their perpetrators to justice. 109 children were identified and given resources. This operation was run in conjunction with the National Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Investigators were able to identify the victims through images and videos and arrest hundreds of suspects for the production, distribution, and possession of child sexual abuse materials.
Children today are at risk like they've never been in the past. Part of that is because of the increased access predators have to children, whether that be through online gaming platforms, social media, or other apps.
Two of the suspects highlighted at the news conference have North Texas ties. Harold Lee Hill was arrested in Rockwall, and Michael Huffman was arrested in Fort Worth. Details of his arrest were shared by the acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas.
When agents went to Huffman's home to execute a search warrant, they found him sitting in his driveway with his laptop open with child pornography on display. By Huffman's own admission, he's been trading this sickening material for years.
So Nancy Larson, who you just heard from, says that her office ultimately charged 11 offenders, including Hill and Huffman. Now, if Huffman is found guilty of his charges, he faces up to 20 years in prison. And if Hill is convicted of his charges, I'm told he faces up to life in federal prison. Steve.
All right, Alex Boye.
Alex, thank you. This one guy, only 20 years? Really? Is that it? Sorry that it's been a little bit hard to keep up with this. Let me see. But yeah, that's some story, and you guys are finding some interesting stuff, and I really did appreciate what you shared with us, John, because to get back to what she was talking about as well, years ago, this was in the 80s. I was learning all about the Crusaders then, and that's when I started realizing that the religion that my mom raised me in was like, whoa, they got some stuff going on there. So so I took my own path on what my beliefs were, and it is a lesson in Islamic history. Yeah, and some of that I did not know. And I love the way the lady's talking. I mean, somebody that can talk faster than me, I got to give a tour, and very knowledgeable about it. Yes, Trump could end this overnight. Let's get to it, Trump. Come on. Okay, what's Florida mom texting me here? Let's do, and then y'all, we're gonna have to wrap it up for shortly, but we're getting quite the crowd in here now. It seems like it's been forever since I've been on the show. And goodness gracious, I think you even popped in on some of these other shows last week. But I mean, I do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It just seems like, wow, it just seems like forever when I'm not doing a show. But I was going and doing some lives over the weekend because I'm telling you guys, I was getting like, pay attention to what's going on these people that got their boots on the ground, these independent journalists that are getting down there and getting dirty. You're not going to see all this stuff on MSNBC or CNN or even Fox. You're not going to see all of it. Okay, so, is this something to Let me see. I've got a lot of text from you, girl. Let me see. Yeah, I'd probably. Let me see how. I wonder how long this is. They got this one. Let's do this one because it's Grady Judd. I don't know what you guys think of it.
Fool around and find out. That's the latest human trafficking enforcement operation by Polk County Sheriff's Office. More than 240 people were arrested, and they come from all walks of life: doctors, business owners, even a former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Fox 13's Carla Byron highlights some of those new arrests.
After a 9-day-long multi-agency undercover operation, 244 people are facing charges related to soliciting prostitutes, offering to commit prostitution, and aiding or transporting prostitutes. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says each suspect has a story.
A medical doctor, a retired NFL player, engineers, insurance brokers, and agents.
Take 34-year-old Adarius Taylor, for example, who once played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sheriff Judd says he brought his 6-year-old child to the operation and left them in the car.
This guy here, obviously he must have hit one too many people as a linebacker because his brain cells are scrambled.
Or 48-year-old Sherry Pena, a mother who the sheriff says drove her own daughter, Haley Pena, to the operation.
What are you thinking? She said, whoa, wait a minute. I just thought I was taking her to buy drugs. Oh, that's better. You're taking her to her drug dealer, right?
The social services organization One More Child was fully embedded in this operation. They were able to identify 4 possible victims of human trafficking. They're advocating for legislation that would enhance a first-time soliciting prostitutes charge from a misdemeanor to a felony.
It's an effort to reduce the demand for human trafficking, because the issue is if I'm somebody purchasing somebody else, I don't know if that person's being trafficked or if they're doing it under their own volition. And chances are that person is under the control of another person.
Demang hopes this legislation is introduced during next year's session. For the first time ever, ICE partnered with the sheriff's office for the operation. Investigators say 36 people arrested are in the country illegally, and the sheriff encourages people to push for these types of operations to happen in their communities.
And when you hear the statement, well, we don't have that problem here, know that that's not the truth. There's nothing unique about the people in Florida other than we seek them out. They hide under rocks and in bushes. This is a stealthful undercover operation. Every community in this nation has this issue.
In Polk County, Carla Byron, Fox 13 News.
Yep. And there's some Grady Judd or whatever.
As we come on the air, protests spreading across the
there's that guy. I mean,
U.S. from Los
I'll
Angeles
give you a little
to
bit of it.
to Boston. Tonight, the images of ICE agents chasing farm workers through the fields.
Wow.
Also tonight, the female sailor found dead days after going missing from her barracks. And tonight here, we remember Brian Wilson, the leader of the Beach Boys, and the remarkable moment we found from
See, these guys, that's the thing about these guys. They'll talk about the Beach Boys.
ICE raids growing across the country amid President Trump's immigration crackdown. Hundreds of protesters arrested from Los Angeles to New York City. ICE agents seen chasing farm workers through a strawberry field. Dozens of arrests tonight during a raid at a meat production plant. The arrests from California to Nebraska. And surveillance video appearing to show federal agents boxing in a car using tear gas to arrest the driver. A woman and 2 babies in that car. And tonight, Texas now deploying its National Guard. Breaking news tonight, the split verdict in the Harvey Weinstein trial and the chaos and anger in the jury room. The foreman sending a note to the judge saying, quote, "I can't go back in there with the other jurors. I feel afraid inside there." Tonight, U.S. authorities confirming the death of a missing female sailor who vanished from her barracks in Norfolk, Virginia. Her body has been found in the woods, and what we're now learning. In New York City tonight, the crypto kidnapping case turning more disturbing. 2 defendants pleading not guilty. Prosecutors tonight now say they doused the victim with tequila and set him on fire and cut him with a chainsaw, allegedly holding him for 17 days. Tonight, ABC News up over Washington, D.C. with the Secret Service. What will this military parade look like and the security? And tonight, the president's warning for any protesters. The White House is pressed on this and what they said about protesters. Tonight here, the passing of a music icon.
Yeah, he's getting around all right. But in any case, it's good to get a little bit of this just little pieces of the news and some of this information that you guys can do what you will with it. I mean, we're here, and you know, we're victims one way or the other. I'm sure everybody in the chat, a lot of people that are listening to these shows, and I just wanted to say, I've got a lot more I want to share with you guys, and I'll be back tomorrow, 9 Eastern. And I just really, you know, like I say, I'm praying for everybody that is victims of a CPS, these dependency courts, these judges, and law enforcement that aren't doing their jobs, and they're wearing the clothes, they're acting the role, but they're not doing what we need them to do. Release the children. I'm Brenda Cambron. That's it. Peace. I'm out of here.
Kids, stolen life, a mess, nothing left. But she fought back with every breath. A husband locked away for trying so hard. Brenda's heart took blow after blow. 15 years gone, but hope's a bright star. She showed the world what they didn't know. She's bringing it back, Brenda's new dawn. Living her life, singing her song. Starting over, no chains to bind. Loving it all, pure peace of mind. She's helping others rise and shine, teaching joy from a heart so kind. No looking back, just moving ahead. In her story, no tears are shed. From ashes, Brenda stands so tall. Brenda's living, showing what she can do. She's bringing it back, Brenda's new dawn. Living her life, singing her song. Starting over, no chains to bind. Loving it all, pure peace of mind.